You're watching Global TV, a collaborative project bringing together student journalists from universities across England, Spain, Peru, Romania, Canada, and Australia. I'm your presenter, Amanda Curcio, here at the University of Brighton. In an effort to increase profits, companies are hiring fewer people and replacing them with machines that provide a similar but less personal experience. Self-checkouts abound and newfangled vending machines are popping up all over the city. During this period of rising prices, the lack of human vendors has led to a marked increase in theft. To better understand this trend, Ethan Sampson of MacEwan University interviewed an anonymous individual who has found a morally questionable method to save a few bucks at one such machine.
The AI revolution is upon us, and companies are trying all sorts of new technologies in an attempt to reduce their labor force and increase their profits. But corporate cost savings haven't led to decreased prices for consumers. For the average student, the daily cost of living has become almost unbearably expensive. We all find different ways of cutting costs. Most of us start buying generic instead of name brand products. Or maybe you and a friend share a Netflix login. At times, you may have even considered resorting to something a little less ethical, blurring the lines between frugality and petty theft. We interviewed one such anonymous consumer who discovered a flaw in a campus vending machine that led to a morally ambiguous cost-saving method.
Nobody told me. I didn't find it out through anyone. I came up with it on my own. So I was looking at it and I was thinking, how does it know when something's in or out of the machine? If it weighs the same, you can just swap it out.
Do you see this as stealing?
Not really, no. It's more of an exploit.
Do you think this has a negative impact?
No, but I don't think there's really any impact with it. If you look at profit margins with a lot of these autonomous machines, I mean, it's so big that it's going to be almost unnoticeable.
Would you take products from a store with a person behind the counter?
Probably not, no. I mean, especially if it's a smaller business, definitely not. It's an exploit that works because of the uniqueness of what it is.
Does the lack of humanity play into this at all?
100%. I mean, nobody cares if they don't pay for parking. You don't feel bad for the parking meter.
Corporations continue to choose profits over people. It's a strategy that prioritizes short-term financial gains over long-term social stability. Recent studies have shown that people are more likely to steal from a self-checkout machine than a traditional checkout lane. It's more than likely that companies will respond to this kind of theft by implementing more security cameras and artificial intelligence. Reduced labor that results in increased theft might just be the cost of doing business in the modern age. If companies keep removing the human element from the point of sale, we will continue to see a rise in this type of impersonal crime.
In the face of pollution and neglect, a group of women in Peru are turning waste into something powerful. What was once a dumping ground has now been transformed into a thriving medicinal garden in the heart of Lima. As cities around the world struggle with environmental challenges, this grassroots project is proving that real change can start at community level.
En medio de la contaminación urbana y el abandono social, un grupo de mujeres adultas mayores decidió desafiar las condiciones que las rodeaban y sembrar vida donde antes solo había basura. Así nació en 2019 el Jardín Medicinal Praderas de Vida, en el distrito de San Juan de Miraflores. Este proyecto, más que un huerto comunitario, es una respuesta local a una crisis ambiental que afecta al planeta entero. De acuerdo con el Programa de las Naciones Unidas para el Medio Ambiente, las áreas urbanas son responsables de generar el 60% de las emisiones globales de gases de efecto invernadero. Además, producen más de la mitad de los residuos del planeta, incluyendo alrededor de 288 millones de toneladas de residuos plásticos cada año. Sin embargo, mientras el planeta busca soluciones, aquí en este barrio marginal de Lima, Perú, la acción ya había comenzado.
Antes esto era un basural, era un sitio descampado que toda la gente botaba un montón de basura, desperdicio, o sea, de todo, hasta desmontes todo botaba. Y también había bastante gente de mal vivir por acá.
Frente a esta realidad, la señora Fabiola Pardavé decidió no quedarse de brazos cruzados y junto a un grupo de mujeres de su comunidad convirtió la preocupación en acción, transformando el abandono social en esperanza. Con sabiduría ancestral y perseverancia, sus manos crearon una alternativa sostenible frente a un problema que afecta a millones de personas en el mundo. Tras años de esfuerzo y trabajo, establecieron su invernadero, generando un microambiente natural en medio de la contaminación de la gran ciudad y devolviendo la vida a un lugar antes abandonado. Este es un espacio donde hoy cultivan plantas medicinales que luego se transforman en infusiones, preparados naturales y jabones artesanales que ponen a la venta a la comunidad en su tienda naturista, consolidando un sistema de autosostenibilidad ecológica.
Hemos aclimatado ciertas plantas de diferentes partes del Perú porque el huerto es 100% agroecológico. Nosotros acá no utilizamos ningún tipo de pesticidas químicos ni nada. Todo es ecológico.
Acá cultivamos menta, muña, citronela, hinojo, apio, todo lo que es medicina.
En praderas de vida, cada planta cumple una función especial. Tras ser cosechadas, pasan por un proceso cuidadoso de lavado y deshidratación, para luego convertirse en remedios naturales que reúnen la sabiduría de la tierra y el trabajo colectivo de estas mujeres. Además, estas mujeres comparten sus conocimientos sobre plantas, floristería y tejidos a través de talleres que fortalecen la educación ambiental y el vínculo con su comunidad.
¿Quieres hacerle un regalo a tu mamá con tus propias manos?
Desde el Jardín Medicinal Praderas de Vida, estas mujeres son unas guardianas de la tierra y nos recuerdan que el cuidado del medio ambiente empieza en la comunidad y que no es una elección, sino una responsabilidad compartida con las futuras generaciones.
Romania is facing a growing dilemma over its brown bear population, with some animals increasingly seen as a danger in local communities. Conservationists, local officials, and hunters are working together to find a balance between protecting people and the bears.
How do you solve a problem like the brown bear? Is it a problem, or is it a nuisance? Or is there another thing that this bear is? With an estimated population between 6 and 10,000 bears, Romania has a problem on its hands, and it doesn't know quite what to do with it. Do they scare the bear, hoping it won't return? Do they relocate it? Do they kill it? Or is there another option that might be worth pursuing? There's a small village in the heart of the Carpat Mountains called Babeș-Bolyai, and 4 years ago, they tried answering this question. Every year, conservationists, hunters, and local authorities come together to discuss creative solutions that both protect their citizens while also protecting the bear.
Románia Dél-Kelet-Európának az az országa, ahol legnagyobb medve populációja van. Nyilvánvaló különböző nézetek, különböző számokról beszélnek, de több ezres medve populációról beszélünk. Úgy gondolom, hogy a tusnádfürdői tapasztalat egy jó minta tud lenni, hogy ezt replikálni és használni más településeken is, mindaz, amit az elmúlt másfél év alatt, 2 év alatt történt ebbe a témába. De ugyanakkor Romániának ez egy adottsága is, az a hatalmas állatállomány, amivel mi ezelőtt 50-30-100 évvel csak együtt éltünk. Tehát mi vissza kell nézzünk a történelmünkbe, a saját közösségeink tapasztalatába, hogy tudtunk együtt élni ezekkel a nagy állatokkal.
Romania is a country rich with culture and with nature. And with this comes amazing growth. But such growth comes at a cost. What happens when a country expands so much that the dividing line between nature and civilization is blurred? Romania is suffering from deforestation, and local authorities are doing their best to maintain this boundary.
Első részben, tehát rendszeresen tartjuk a kapcsolatot az intervenciós csoporttal. Azon kívül megfigyeljük mindig a vonalon, és keressük, hogy hol alakulhatnak ki olyan problémák, ami oda vezethet, hogy visszajön a medve. Viszont hosszú távon a közösséggel, az itt lakó emberekkel szeretnénk elérni, és rajtukon keresztül a turistákkal is, hogy ne etessék a medvéket, ne becsalják a medvéket, mert egy turista itt ül 5-10 napot, mi itt élünk egy egész évet. Tehát hosszú távon tehát fenntartani ezt a jelenlegi állapotot.
The town of Babeș-Bolyai has implemented its bear prevention program for the past 3 years, and it's been surprisingly effective. But the rest of the country still has a bit more catching up to do. People still need to be educated, laws need to be changed and adapted, and all this will make Romania not bear-proof, but bear-safe, resulting in a peaceful coexistence for everyone.
plans to expand Barcelona's El Prat airport are facing growing opposition from environmental activists and local residents. Critics warn the project could damage protected natural areas, ruining biodiversity, accelerating climate change, and deepening social inequality. As protests gain momentum across Catalonia, campaigners say the fight is more than about the airport, it's about the future of their communities.
L'ampliació de la tercera pista de l'aeroport del Prat afectaria l'espai natural de la Ricarda, que és un espai protegit per la màxima protecció de la normativa europea, per la directiva d'hàbitats i la directiva d'aus. Es carregaria un espai que ha estat pràcticament reserva de la biodiversitat durant segles intacte i posaria en perill la viabilitat de tot el delta. A més, no ens podem oblidar que l'aviació és una activitat totalment vinculada al canvi climàtic, per tant, més avions serà més canvi climàtic. A nivell socioeconòmic, l'ampliació de l'aeroport del Prat porta un model de desenvolupament amb desigualtat social i amb precarietat. Per tant, no és un creixement econòmic inclusiu, és un creixement econòmic amb impactes socials. En què es basa l'ampliació de l'aeroport? En unes perspectives de creixement del turisme. Ens diuen que volen atreure inversions, talent, valor afegit, però no és cert. L'aeroport del Prat és un aeroport enfocat en el turisme i el que portaran els avions seran turistes. El turisme és un sector amb llocs de treball molt precaris i, a més, el turisme massiu està tenint uns impactes terribles en l'accés a l'habitatge, perquè està fent que molts pisos i molts immobles estiguin destinats a l'ús turístic i que pot pagar aquest ús turístic uns preus més alts i està expulsant a la població dels seus barris. Nosaltres som Ni un pam de terra, que som un col·lectiu del Prat de Llobregat de veïns i veïnes que ens oposem a l'ampliació de l'aeroport i d'altres infraestructures i també als projectes immobiliaris que arrasen el territori del nostre poble. Creiem que l'ampliació de l'aeroport respon als interessos dels lobbies empresarials, els polítics s'alineen amb aquests interessos, però nosaltres aquí tenim alguna cosa a dir. La ciutadania del Prat es mobilitza i no només del Prat, estem parlant que a nivell comarcal hi ha una preocupació i una activació molt gran de les persones que volen protestar i també és un tema de país. I veiem que el moviment ecologista, que molts moviments socials de Catalunya s'estan implicant en aquesta lluita compartida.
Gen Z's shift towards healthier drinking habits is transforming Australia's nightlife. As binge drinking declines, sober mornings are creating new opportunities for young people to connect, dance and socialise without alcohol. Let's see the latest coffee raves taking over Perth.
For decades, Perth nightlife has looked like this. Loud, late and fuelled by alcohol. But a quiet shift is happening, and it starts with something as simple as coffee. They're called coffee raves, and they've led hundreds of people to swap vodka Red Bulls for flat whites. These three Gen Zs from Copper Beats are rewriting Perth's party playbook.
Yeah, I think it has been kicking off, like hundreds and thousands of views from people. The numbers have been doubling up, and with our last event having over 800 to 1,000 people.
It's essentially just clubbing in a cafe, a whole new concept that hasn't been done in Perth yet.
With cost of living pressures rising and wellness culture booming, young people say that nightclubs no longer fit their lifestyle.
Drinks are so expensive, entry to clubs is so expensive. People want to be healthier, they want to get up in the morning and go to Pilates and go to the beach and run clubs. So we're trying to create a music listening alternative that fits that new lifestyle.
And that shift towards early mornings and healthier habits isn't just anecdotal. According to Dr. Stephen Irwin, a senior lecturer in addiction at ECU, it reflects a national shift.
I think it's a great idea, and it's a reflection of a trend among young people who are drinking less than ever in recorded history, using less drugs than ever in recorded history. And so I think events like this are just responding to sort of the environment young people are in at the moment. This is, they're looking for sober activities. We really try to keep people as busy as possible when they're stopping drinking. And so, of course, having these sorts of events sprinkled into their calendar is going to be helpful.
But with the rave this Sunday in Osborne Park being totally free and dishing up half-price coffee, can these events be sustainable?
Well, if there's funding coming from public health like the Alcohol and Drug Foundation or the Commonwealth Government funding it, then of course it is sustainable, but it probably isn't sustainable without some funding.
While the sun is up and the clubs behind me may be shut, for a growing crowd, the party hasn't stopped. The question is, would you swap your Saturday night clubbing for a Sunday morning coffee rave? Indali Gebert-Chan, ECU Vanguard News.
For our next report, people from Southeast Asia are increasingly moving to Romania in search of better opportunities. Many are arriving to work and study, focused on survival and building a future, working hard and often without complaint.
Romania has become a place of opportunity for many people far from home, not just for study as we all know, but for work, survival, and a future that feels possible. Every day we see them riding through the streets, delivering orders, or at construction sites. The hours are long, the weather is unforgiving, but behind all the hard work are personal reasons, family back home, or simply a hope for something better.
My name is Virendra. I'm from Nepal, and I'm here in Romania working in 1.5 year. And this is better than Nepal in earning money. I'm here in delivery boy working. There's too much problem in outside, too much. This is a weather problem, but this is hard work here, no problem.
Some come to Romania to study, but for many international students, studying alone is not enough. Tuition fees must be paid, rent must be covered, and life does not pause for lectures.
My name is Ras Jahangir Alam. I am from Bangladesh and I am an international student. I came here 2 years ago for study purpose, and in the meantime I work in a part-time job in a delivery company, Taj. One of my friends, he said me, if I interested, I can work in a delivery company, and he suggested me Taj.
Between lectures and deliveries, these students live in two worlds at once. One focused on education and ambition, the other focused on survival. Sleep becomes optional and rest becomes rare. Yet many continue quietly without complaint.
Yeah, doing the delivery job, sometimes I miss my class. I work at night also, and sometimes I work night to 3 a.m. and I go my accommodation. I sleep, and I was very tired. That's why I cannot wake up in the right time, in the proper time. I cannot attend my class.
For some, Romania is not just a temporary stop. It becomes home, a place where work turns into stability and stability turns into family. Migration is often spoken about in numbers, but behind every statistic is a relationship, a sacrifice, and a decision to start again together.
My name is Ontu. When I came here, I was alone. I came alone. After 6 months, almost 6 months after I get my TRC, I apply for my family. I apply for the family reunification visa, and my husband and my daughter came here. And after that, we are living here.
This is not just a story about these foreigners and their work. It is a story about resilience, dignity, and the quiet effort to belong. They are part of Romania's streets, its economy, and its future, even if they remain unseen. They are riders, students, workers, and families.
Globally, people with additional needs and disabilities face major barriers to employment, despite legal protections guaranteeing equal rights. In response, organisations like the one in this next segment are working towards inclusion becoming more than just a promise.
En Espanya viuen al voltant de 700.000 persones amb alguna discapacitat intel·lectual i, segons la Universitat de Sevilla, només un 18% d'ells té feina. La llei al nostre país reconeix el dret al treball a tots els ciutadans sense discriminació alguna. No obstant, a causa d'estigmes encara presents i la manca d'adaptació als entorns laborals, dificulta l'accés d'aquest col·lectiu a la professió.
Les persones amb discapacitat intel·lectual tenen un plus extra a l'hora de dificultats d'accedir al món laboral. La condició de la discapacitat que necessita un suport, aquesta n'és una, però sobretot el desconeixement del sector econòmic del que poden aportar les persones amb discapacitat intel·lectual al món de l'empresa.
El Centre Ocupacional Caviga atén 94 persones dels municipis de Castelldefels, Viladecans i Gavà. Ofereix serveis de teràpia ocupacional i d'inserció laboral, on es treballen habilitats per mantenir i potenciar les capacitats professionals dels usuaris, amb l'objectiu que estiguin preparats per accedir al món laboral.
Pues mira, hacemos muchas cosas, hacemos incienso, hacemos barras de...
Del hospital, ¿eh? La
Sí.
barra que estamos haciendo, que hay llegado y que estábamos haciendo, pues eso es lo que... los roscones.
Los
Eso- que
roscones de
es
los-
otro trabajo que hacemos, pero que eso, los plásticos...
El roscón de magos.
Elles, només pel fet de treballar, de sentir-se útils a la societat, de poder ajudar els altres, són uns treballadors incansables, puntuals, que els agrada el que estan fent i a més disfruten molt sovint amb feines repetitives que són la seva zona de confort, cosa que persones sense discapacitat intel·lectual molt sovint aquestes feines ens cansen.
La Judit, usuària semiautònoma de l'Associació Coordinadora de Persones i Discapacitados de l'Hospitalet, és la prova de que l'entorn laboral es va obrint a la inclusió en les seves plantilles. Fa 3 anys, la Judit va començar a treballar en una pizzeria.
Fui a una empresa que se llama Adeco, que está en Barcelona, Poble Nou. Yo trabajo con unas máquinas, corto con verdura, con guantes y hago limpieza.
Y si tuvieras que decirle a las personas de diversidad funcional que están buscando trabajo y no lo consiguen, ¿qué les dirías?
Llamaríamos nosotros o llamarían a otra empresa de Papa Johnson, donde sea otra máquina, otras empresas.
Crec que anem bé, que anem lents i que fa falta també que hi hagi suport, no?, perquè una discriminació positiva cap a les persones amb discapacitat intel·lectual per entrar al món laboral. Però jo crec que anem pel bon camí. Lents, però pel bon camí.
Malgrat les baixes xifres d'incorporacions de discapacitats al sector laboral, iniciatives com les de Caviga i històries com la de la Judit conviden a l'optimisme sobre el futur d'aquest col·lectiu. Per ara, només ens queda seguir lluitant perquè el que se'ls reconeix com a dret passi a ser una realitat.
Similarly, in Romania, one cafe is challenging that reality. Coffeels is on a mission to create opportunities by hiring people with both visible and invisible disabilities. Here's our report.
A job is no easy task, but if you fall outside the status quo or have a disability, the job market can be even harsher. This reality has been true for many years, but because of this, little pockets of support have appeared, one being Coffeels Cafe. Located in Cluj-Napoca, Romania, Coffeels makes it its mission to hire people with visible and invisible disabilities.
Opening in 2021, Coffeels was founded by owner Lucian Butnaru, a social entrepreneur and advocate for disability rights.
Am ajuns să fac antreprenoriat social dintr-o nevoie personală de a-mi găsi loc în societate pentru că m-am născut cu o deficiență de vedere și am transformat o durere într-o misiune.
Currently, Coffeels is home to 5 employees, 3 of which have disabilities. Implementing this type of social model has required the cafe and its employees to be flexible and understanding.
În general, când vine vorba de persoanele cu sindrom Down și Asperger, un lucru care e clar pentru ambele categorii e că trebuie să fim mai atenți la procesul de formare pentru că deprinderea skill-urilor poate necesita un timp mai lung.
Sunt momente în care poate pentru unii colegi muzica e prea tare, spre exemplu, și au sensibilități senzoriale. Și trebuie să observ chestiile astea, să anticipez cumva nevoile pe care le au.
Când vine vorba de o dizabilitate care afectează neuropsihic o persoană, dar nu, e invizibil, tu nu percepi, pentru că vezi un om la fel ca tine și nu știi de ce, pare că a fost nesimțit cu tine.
In Romania, companies with over 50 employees are required by law to have at least 4% of their workforce be comprised of people with disabilities. However, to avoid this, they can pay a fine as a loophole. Legally, Cofiel's is considered a protected unit as it prioritizes hiring disadvantaged people.
Dacă, din păcate, nu reușesc să facă asta, ele vor plăti un salariu minim brut per fiecare persoană neangajată lunar. Statul permite acestor companii să facă business cu firme ca a noastră de jumătate din această sumă.
Despite the success of Cofiel's, there is much progress to be made. With an estimate of over 900,000 disabled people living in Romania, not all of them can work at Cofiel's.
În Cluj-Napoca mai există locuri în care lucrează persoane cu dizabilități, dar din păcate nu cunosc un loc care să facă asta day by day și să aibă focusul principal către a angaja persoane cu dizabilități.
It's companies like Cofiel's that ultimately push Romania towards a more inclusive future, where all types of people can be independent and make a living for themselves.
Cred că în momentul în care vom ajunge la tot mai mulți oameni din puncte cheie decizionale din companii vor fi mult mai deschiși să zică da la interviuri în care se prezintă și persoane cu dizabilități.
With the right support, anyone can turn their life around. It starts with a simple conversation at the Kennedy Street Recovery Centre in Brighton, where founders Claire and Kev were inspired by their own hardships to help others recover from their addictions.
So I'm the founder, my name's Claire Kennedy. I'm the founder of this charity, and the charity is called Kennedy Street Foundation, and we pay for the hub. So the recovery hub is about visible recovery being present in our communities, because there's a lot of talk in the press and at a national level about addiction, and nobody really talks about recovery. So everybody perceives addiction to be a hopeless case. Well, I can tell you we're not hopeless cases. So I'm a recovering addict myself, 28 years sober and clean from addiction, and I needed a place like this when I first started my journey. All of my staff are ex-clients, so they start off as clients, and they come in, I help them get sober, I help them stabilise, and then they come on our volunteer programme, and I help them find their purpose and their passion.
Yeah, we support people with drug and alcohol addiction issues. It can be also other addiction issues like sex, gambling, anything really. So we help people turn around their lives, get onto a path of recovery, and really, that's what we do here. Brighton Hove used to be like one of the death capitals in the UK for heroin overdose and stuff like that, but I think that's changing now with the scene of the drug scene is changing, so the younger generation now, the mid-20s, early 30s, all doing ketamine a lot more than they were before. So, but back then, 30 years ago, everyone was into heroin, It's sad, some people don't make it, This is our first funeral for a client this year. It won't be our last. We had a couple last year. But that's what we're up against, you know what I mean? But like me, I'm 7 years sober. The CEO who set the charity up was 26 years sober. All the staff on the payroll, we're all in recovery. We're all multiple years sober, and we're what we call a lived experience recovery organisation. It's really important to let people know that recovery is possible. And what we say around here is it begins with abstinence. Because once you're an addict, once you've what we say in recovery, you've crossed the line. So once you've crossed this invisible line, you're unable to return back to controlling your drinking and using. So recovery begins with abstinence, it then begins with working a programme, and we're big facilitators around here of working a 12-step programme.
Over 100 people come here every week seeking recovery, not addiction. So you can go in lots of pubs and you can go to lots of places around the level and find out what addiction looks like. But if you want to find out what recovery looks like and what it sounds like, this is a really good place to come.
And now for our sports segment in Australia. Sports washing is a growing trend where countries are using major sporting events to help improve their public image, often to divert attention from political controversies. To break it down, here's Mitchell Corpse.
Rugby and darts don't have much in common, but in 2025, both have become part of one of global sport's more concerning trends, sports washing.
So sports washing is the strategic and deliberate use of sporting events to overshadow maybe negative aspects of a particular country or nation, or even corporation.
Earlier this year, reports emerged of a Saudi Arabian-backed professional rugby league, R360, rivaling the likes of the NRL. Just weeks later, the Professional Darts Corporation announced the first Saudi Arabia Darts Masters, set for 2026.
Sports we link with integrity, fair play, community, these sorts of aspects. So by leveraging that association, the hope is that those qualities kind of rub off onto the country or organisation in question.
That power of association has turned sport into a tool not just for entertainment, but for influence. Sports washing is simply the latest expression of sport's enduring ties to politics.
Sport is such a unifying medium, right? By all means, you can look at it as like perhaps a less sinister way of getting people on side with you.
Australia isn't standing on the sidelines. The government's spending $600 million backing a brand new Papua New Guinea-based NRL team, part of a wider effort to counter Chinese influence in the Pacific.
There are broader things that have occurred other than sports diplomacy, if you want to put it that way. And as I said, I think sport is just the bouquet of flowers that runs with all the rest of the other stuff that's gone on in the last 12 months.
Where power, politics and profit intersect, the lines between passion and persuasion blur. The question for fans remains, can we separate the games we love from the powers behind them? Mitchell Corr, ECU News.
From skateboarding to becoming champion boxer, Australia's Bang Bang Lulu is breaking barriers and fighting for women's places in sports.
Why are you still kicking?
Oh man, I don't know. Like I'd love to, it's like one of the lifetime.
You know why? Because but I got to I'm taking Eli to. Hi, I'm Lulu Horton, also known as Bang Bang Lulu. I'm a two-time world champion boxer and I'm born and bred from Perth. I describe myself as energetic. I may be little, but I am large in heart and I have a lot to give. I've always been an athlete. So when I was younger, I was actually competing on the world stage in skateboarding. Boxing, it actually came later in life. I was nearly 30. My good friend said to me, hey, would you come with me to the boxing gym and do a fitness class? And I was like, yeah, cool, for sure, definitely. When I stepped into the boxing gym, I was like, oh my God, this is it. I just saw it as my second opportunity to become a world champion and just go after it literally the day I stepped in the gym. But to represent Perth on 2 world stages and become a world champion has meant so much to me. I love where I come from, my roots are here, and being able to inspire people around me. Go for it and show them that this small girl from Mandurah can become something great on the world stage, and if I can do it, you can do it too. I was inspired to create Champion Ways because it's been my life's work. And I thought about all the things I've done in life, and since the age of 16 I've been speaking as a keynote speaker. I've been, running workshops, and growing up in a region like a smaller town, I wanted to be able to create a difference. I work with a lot of Aboriginal kids and also mums and women. I think in some of the women's programs, you know, there's some big topics that come up, and seeing their light shine inside them, their body language changes, they're smiling, you know, they're putting boundaries in place in their life that is creating safety for them and safety for their family. Like, it's so transformative and such an amazing blessing to be able to be in that space where we can lead them. We're a bit underrepresented, but also as a woman and as a young girl, like in these two sports, it was very challenging to be able to seek opportunities. But it's all about finding the way. There's many ways to climb a mountain. So if you've got the courage to go after your dreams and to overcome the obstacles that we're faced, you can do anything. Did you get that?
Yeah, I did. A push to get netball into Olympic Games is gaining momentum in Australia. With growing male interest, fans say sport could finally break through and meet Olympic standards. A growing wave of support is rapidly building behind Netball Australia's petition to include netball as an Olympic sport. With tens of thousands of signatures, many say that the growing male interest in the sport is the key to being showcased on the biggest sporting stage in the world.
We've got to make sure that we've got a product that actually is Olympics worthy, and without that product being there, we're obviously not going to get included. And if they can't include the men's competition as well as the women's, then the women's doesn't get in there either.
The sport has never featured at the Olympic Games due to its inability to meet the International Olympic Committee's required criteria of inclusivity and equality. Most notably due to the gender imbalance between the number of men and the number of women playing netball at elite levels worldwide.
The men's competition isn't about being better than the female competition. It's not about trying to overtake or replace, but it's about making sure that we're working together and making each other better with our competitions.
According to the latest AusPlay data, over 1 million people participate in Australian netball, with its fastest growing sector being boys and men with approximately 74,000 participants.
I was just playing basketball and cricket, and just straight away, like, everyone was so supportive. I think maybe because it's so small, everyone kind of knows everyone so well. So it's always been more than just teammates. It's like grown to become like family.
Since the 2020 Tokyo Games, the International Olympic Committee has extended the Olympic program to allow host cities to propose new sports that reflect the city's local culture and popularity. Netball Australia is setting its sights on the upcoming 2032 Brisbane Olympic Games, hoping to score a spot in its list of additional sporting events.
It's really important that, you know, we get onto that world stage where all countries can see what we're like, spectators can see what we're like and understand what a great game netball is.
Capitalising on this unique opportunity to showcase netball globally. Vienna Winkham, ECU News. That's all from Global TV, bringing you stories from around the world through the voices of the next generation of journalists. I'm Amanda Curcio, and I'll see you next time.